Let's talk about like a steps. So I would say step one would be save up an emergency fund of at least $1,000, like as like a
Yeah.
baby step. And this is like taking someone now. College students are in different situations financially, but let's just take somebody from like zero, that
Yeah.
maybe might be in debt even, and have like a negative net worth, and say, okay, hey, first goal is to say, okay, try to save at least $1,000, right? Step two, try to save up to pay off all your debts. Now, student loan thing, that's a different story because that's like,
Kicks
after you
in.
graduate,
Yeah.
it kicks in later. But like any debt, like credit card debt and stuff like that,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So have an emergency fund of like 1,000, a cushion of $1,000, and then focus on paying off all your debt, right? The credit card debt and everything. And then after you've become like debt free, then save up to increase that emergency fund to be at the level of 3 to 6 months of your living expenses,
Yeah.
right? And then from there, let's save up to prepare for upcoming expenses in cash. So, like for example, you know that eventually you're going to need to buy another car, right? So you can start saving a little bit each month into like a car fund,
Yeah.
so that when that time comes, you don't have to do a car loan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Even like at the end of the week, I had a professor tell me save up like $10 every week, and that really just pays off. Like by
Yeah.
like the time you're graduating.
Yeah, and I've been trying to do that with like paychecks, taking a certain amount of the money that I earn and put it into like a savings section of my bank account.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's really good. Yes, 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 yes. And so you have to, is it a separate account, or
No,
is it,
it's like all the same account,
Okay.
but I believe it's like a virtual wallet, and then there's like a virtual savings, and
Yeah.
then there's a reserve section, so I can put it in. I can put
Awesome.
the money into each section.
I like that. I like that because it is important to separate it out,
Yeah.
because if it's in there, you might spend it, right?
Yeah.
So it's like
so
you
it's
separate
nice
it
that
out.
like I can't even spend it. Yeah.
Oh, good. So, so save up to pay for upcoming purchases, and then step five would be save up to invest in stock mutual funds, right? So you now individual stocks, right, are just ownerships of companies, right,
Yeah,
and everything, and that can be risky because that particular company could go bankrupt, right?
Right.
But a mutual fund is safer because the mutual fund is investing in a large collection of stocks, right?
Yeah.
Especially like these things called index funds, like index mutual funds, where they're just kind of tracking the biggest corporations, right? So they're safe. So I would say, it's important to, after you've gone through the other steps, to start like automatically saving each month into a mutual fund, even if it's something small. Maybe it's like $100 a month into a mutual fund, because and something where it's like you don't see, kind of like what you were talking about, like
Yeah.
separating it out when you don't see it, because if it's gone, then it's like you can't, you can't touch it, you
Yeah.
can't spend it, and it'll just kind of get you into that routine of saving. But what do you feel about, and the reason is the compound interest. The thing about compound interest, right? How like, compound interest is where your money will start
Yeah.
to make money, right?
Yeah.
And so, for example, compound interest example, right? $100 invested at 10% interest rate. The first year, it only makes $10, right? Because
Right.
10% of 100. But for the second year, it's 10%, not of just the 100, but also it's 10% of the previous
Yeah.
earnings,
Yeah.
interest. So it'll be 10% of 110, which will be $11, right?
Yeah.
And then that gets reinvested. So the third year, the interest you make will be $12.10. So it increases, and so it's amazing. So now, with the power of compounding interest, when you look at it over the long term, you can think of it, and this is a great example where you have two people, right? Ben and Arthur. Ben starts to invest $2,000 every year, right, which is what, less than $200 a month, right? $2,000 every year into average mutual fund. Okay, every year, but he only invests for was it like 8 years? 8 years, from age 19 through age 26, right? 8 years. So that's a total of $16,000 that he invested into this mutual fund, right? And then he stops and he doesn't invest anything else, right? Okay, now Arthur, though, his friend, right, same age and everything, his friend doesn't start investing until the age of 27. starts to invest $2,000 every year and continues investing from age 27 through age 65. So author invests a total of for a total of 39 years, right? 39 years, $2,000 every year. Ben only invests, for 8 years, right? $2,000 every year. But when you look at the numbers, because of the power of compounding interest, Ben still comes out ahead of Arthur, right? Ben comes out with 2.2 million, Arthur only comes out with 1.5 million. And the reason is Ben started early because he had more time. There was more time for his money to compound, right?
Yeah. That's crazy though, looking at those numbers. And he invests so much more.
Yeah, Arthur invested so much more money, but it was later,
Yeah.
So that's why I'm so excited too about you guys, because all of you guys are around the age of 20,
Yeah,
19, 20 years old, right? And so here's the thing, even if you start with just a little bit each month, then it could really grow because of the power of compounding interest. So what do you guys think about that?
That would definitely be something I want to look into, because you see that and you see how much it pays off in the long run, and through all this money, this time period, once you're in your 30s, you have kids and a family then, so if your money's making money, that adds to your cushion that we keep talking about, to your rainy day fund, and it's just your money making money on its own, and then you have your career and you're making an income from that, just a bunch of ways to increase your capital.
Yeah, I think this is amazing, and especially looking at how much less Ben invests than Arthur, and it's just unbelievable how much more he comes out to and how much it grows.
Yeah.